Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into one of the biggest matches of the Italian Open quarterfinals, Elena Rybakina versus Elina Svitolina, two former Rome champions. Two players in excellent form in 2026, and only one of them can move one step closer to the title in the final. Major clay event before Roland-Garros. This match isn't just about Rome anymore. It's also a huge statement match, ahead of the French Open. Momentum matters at this stage of the season, and both women know a deep run here could completely change expectations, heading into Paris. So let's start with Elena Rybakina. Rybakina returns to Rome with incredible memories from this tournament. Back in 2023, she lifted the Italian Open trophy and showed the tennis world that her powerful game could dominate on clay just as much as on hard courts. Since then, she's become one of the most consistent stars on tour, and her 2026 season proves exactly that. She already captured the Australian Open title earlier this year, adding another Grand Slam to her resume. That alone would make this season impressive. But she didn't stop there. She also reached the final at Indian Wells, made the semifinals in Miami, and then won the Stuttgart title on clay. That's an elite level of consistency across multiple surfaces. What makes Rybakina especially dangerous right now is how complete her game looks. We already know about her massive serve and clean ball striking, but her movement on clay has improved dramatically over the last few seasons. She's defending better, constructing points more patiently, and using her heavy ground strokes to push opponents far behind the baseline. And when she's serving well, she becomes extremely difficult to break. Another huge factor in her favor is experience in big matches. Rybakina already owns multiple WTA 1000 titles, and she has repeatedly shown that pressure moments don't really affect her. Whether it's a Grand Slam semifinal or a major final, she stays calm and plays with the same aggressive mindset. But standing across the net is someone who knows exactly how to win in Rome. Elina Svitolina has a long and successful history at the Italian Open. She won this tournament in 2017 and 2018, becoming one of the best clay court players in the world during that stretch. And now in 2026, she's experiencing a major resurgence. This season has been one of her best in years. Svitolina already won the ASB Classic title, reached the semifinals of the Australian Open, made the final in Dubai, and also produced semi-final runs at Indian Wells and Stuttgart. Those results helped her return to the top 10 for the first time since 2021. That comeback alone is an incredible story. A few years ago, many people wondered if Svitolina would ever return to the elite level consistently, but now she looks physically sharp again, mentally confident and tactically smarter than ever. What makes Svitolina dangerous on clay is her ability to absorb pace and extend rallies. Unlike Rybakina, who prefers shorter, aggressive exchanges, Svitolina thrives in long baseline battles. She moves exceptionally well, changes direction quickly, and forces opponents to hit extra shots over and over again. That style has frustrated some of the biggest hitters on tour throughout her career. However, there is one concern coming into this quarterfinal. Her clay season hasn't been completely perfect. She suffered an early upset loss in Madrid, which raised some questions about consistency against top-level power players. Rome has looked much better for her so far. But now she faces one of the heaviest hitters in women's tennis, and recent history definitely favors Rybakina. The two most recent meetings between these players were both won by Rybakina in straight sets. First came the Indian Wells semifinal earlier this year, where Rybakina controlled the match with aggressive serving and dominant baseline play. Then there was their meeting at Roland-Garros in 2024, where once again Rybakina handled the occasion comfortably. Those matches revealed a clear pattern. When Rybakina dictates the tempo early, Svitolina struggles to slow the match down. The Kazakh star hits through the court with such power that even elite defenders can get pushed out of position quickly. But this is clay, and clay can change everything. Longer rallies naturally give Svitolina more opportunities to counterattack and test Rybakina's patience. If Svitolina can neutralize the serve and drag the rallies deeper, she absolutely has a chance to turn this into a physical battle. That's why this matchup is so fascinating. It's power versus defense, aggression versus consistency, first strike tennis versus counterpunching brilliance. And mentally, this match could be huge for both players heading into Roland-Garros. If Rybakina wins, she strengthens her position as one of the biggest favorites for the French Open title. Winning Rome again would send a massive warning to the rest of the tour. But if Svitolina pulls off the upset, suddenly the entire women's draw becomes even more unpredictable. It would also prove that her return to the top isn't just a temporary run. It's a genuine comeback to championship level. Another interesting factor is physical endurance. Rome's clay courts can produce extremely demanding matches, especially in longer rallies. Rybakina will likely want to keep points short and aggressive, while Svitolina may intentionally extend exchanges to test the endurance and patience of her opponent. Watch for the return game as well. If Svitolina can consistently get Rybakina's first serve back into play, the pressure immediately shifts. But if Rybakina lands a high percentage of first serves, she could control the match from the very beginning. And honestly, that opening set might decide everything. If Rybakina starts fast, it could become another straight-set victory. But if Svitolina survives the early pressure and forces a longer battle, momentum could swing dramatically. So here we are, two former Rome champions, both enjoying outstanding 2026 seasons, battling for a place in the Italian Open, semifinals, and trying to build momentum before the French Open. Will Elena Rybakina continue her dominance and prove she's the player to beat on clay this year? Or can Elina Svitolina use her experience, movement, and defensive brilliance to flip the script in Rome? This quarterfinal has all the ingredients of a classic. Make sure to drop your predictions in the comments below. Who do you think wins this massive showdown? And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest tennis updates, match previews, and breaking news from the tour. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.